FLosstube. Hi, it's Lisa coming to you from the sunny and cold Pacific Northwest. It's January 29th, 2022. Um, it's been a little bit, I think I'm only a week late in my update. Anyway, this is my FLosstube channel where generally right now it's just all cross stitch all the time where I geek out about that. Sometimes I geek out about cosplay and other things, but thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I really enjoy making these, so it's kind of fun to know that some of you enjoy watching them. I have fully finished objects today. I have a finish and I have a WIP to discuss progress on. I am a monogamous stitcher. I don't stitch on a lot of projects at once, and so maybe my updates aren't that interesting. Oh well. I have haul because yeah, it's been a little bit stressful the last few weeks. Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks. So anyway, let's get into the stitching. So, and honestly, I have FLosstube to thank for this because I was thinking, oh, I should do a FLosstube, and why? Don't rock the camera, Lisa. And then I looked at these things sitting here and I thought, if you finish those, you'd actually have something to talk about. So I did. So anyway, if you remember, I was stitching English Heritage Textile Kits, the Edinburgh Castle, and it's all done. I got it framed. This is a little frame I found on Amazon, and I really liked the Baroque look of it, not the Baroque look. But anyway, I just thought it was very appropriate for a castle. So that's that one, and I framed it using museum quality sticky board that I picked up at Dick Blick. It's acid free and whatnot, and then I use a PVA glue. Where is it? Here it is. This is what I use. It's a bookbinding glue that I picked up, and I had a bookbinding class in grad school, and it's on hand, and I have it, and so I used it. Like, don't always have to go buy something new. So that's what I used. I put it on the board, and then I glued the back with the fabric to the back of the board using the PVA glue, and then I wrote on the back, it's like, this is Edinburgh Castle, this is who stitched it, this is why, in memory of a great trip in 2005, and I'm really, really happy with how this came out. I'm really excited. The only drawback is that the museum quality board was too thick then to put the actual back in, and I couldn't take the glass out because it's actually glued into the frame somehow. I was afraid I'd break the frame. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to hang it. And I can set it in a little, I have a few of those little picture frame things, but I was going to hang it on the wall. So I don't know. I might attach it to a ribbon or something. So we'll see. But anyway, so that one's done. I also have the Tower of London, and that one is complete. And this is a frame that I picked up at Michael's. Well, I didn't pick it up at Michael's because by the time I figured out I wanted it, my local Michael's was out. So I ordered this one and a couple of others online, and I'm just really, really happy. This one, because that one was so thick, I used, instead of using the museum quality artboard I had, it was right here. That's what I always say though, right? I have the comic book, the acid-free comic book inserts that I had on hand. A friend had some fabric that they'd given me, and it was wrapped around one of those, so I have a few of those on hand. So I just cut a piece out of that, and again use the PVA glue to, not the front, just glue the back, and then put it in here and fasten it and stuff. And so I'm really, really happy with how these came out. And I also framed this little guy. This is, I did not stitch this. My friend Mary Kate did. She sent it to me several years ago. We went to Scotland together in 17 years ago. It's been a while. And anyway, it's the Stones of Callanish out on the Isle of Lewis. And if you go to Scotland, go to Lewis. It's a beautiful place to visit. The stones are amazing. They're very similar to some of the stones up in Orkney and in the Shetland Islands. And they're similar, kind of like Stonehenge, but their own thing. They're more similar to like the Bratgar, I think it's I can't, sorry, my brain is not braining right now. It'll get back to you on that. But anyway, they're really cool to visit. It's a lovely place. So she had sent me this, and I've held on to it. So I thought I'd frame it because, these are all my little souvenirs. So I just popped it in the frame because it was on a back that came with the kit. So I'm just really, really, really happy with how these turned out. And I'm looking forward to displaying them. And then I still have my Tower Bridge kit that I need to work. And so it fell on the ground. But anyway, so I'll get that one done eventually. But I'm really excited to have those done and put them on a shelf or hang them up somewhere. So those are my fully finished objects. For my finish, I finished my winter bear. I worked it in the called for color DMC and called for beads on a fabric from, let's see if I can actually get the bear here. It's called for DMC on a fabric from To Die For Fabrics. It's an ice dye, just I think the number is just 501. It's a 36 count, and I didn't even think to modify the size of the beads. And so the beads are a little obnoxious up close, but from a distance, it actually looks pretty cool. And I'm really, really happy with it. I finished it on the 19th, and my plan right now is to put this probably on a piece of poster board with a little bit of batting, and then I'll put some red trim around it, and then I have some backing boards I'll paint either blue or red, I'm not sure. I think what I might do is try to match this blue, this kind of the blue for the water, and put it on that, and then we'll frame it, and then it'll be a nice Christmas decoration, obnoxiously large beads and all. So I'm really, really pleased with that. So I finished that, and that's kind of exciting. So having things actually done. And then I was going to start one of my stocking projects, but I remembered that I had the Pretty Little Chicago that I had started, but I thought I had my piles more organized, but not gotten very far on. So I went ahead and got that out, and it's this one by Satsuma Street, and this is how far I've gotten on it. Not too bad in a week, especially given it's been a couple of weeks. It's been a couple of weeks. I've already had to refilm this once. It's like, don't choke up, Lisa. Anyway, yeah, I'm about halfway done. My goal this weekend is to hopefully finish all this in here with the Millennium Bean and get that finished and started. So I'm really happy with how it's turning out. And then I'm going to put this in a hoop when I get it done. I've already decided that's kind of how it's made to be displayed. So, why not? I'll either get a hoop or maybe might go to Goodwill and look for a frame, but I don't like everything in squares. I like some things in round things. And then I took my This'll Do into the local needlework shop, and I'm going to and they're framing it for me. I just decided that one I wanted framed by someone who knew what they were doing, because I really like it and I want it to look really cool. So that should be back hopefully in a couple of weeks, maybe a little longer. I don't know how busy they are. And yeah, wow, okay, 8 minutes in, and that's it for that portion of the cross stitch update. I have some haul. I have a little bit of real life update too, but I'll leave that to the end. Haul, okay, so this is my Year of the Bears, right? And so this is my little winter bear dude, was my first bear. Sorry, my depth perception is off today, and I keep hitting things I shouldn't hit. Anyway, so I have these two patterns, and so I ordered the Called For Fabrics, color-wise anyway, for them. I got this is Winter Wren by Fox and Rabbit Designs, and I believe it's for this one. It's for the Abominable Bundle. It's a really pretty, kind of a pinky, sorry, nothing staying put. It's kind of a deep purple brown. It's showing up more brown, I think, in the camera image than it really is. And so that's that one. And then I got that from Starlight Stitchery down in Corvallis. They are wonderful. If they have it in stock, you should order from them because they're just amazing. I really like them. And then I also got this, which is 36 count eucalyptus, which is kind of a bluey green. Yeah, that's pretty true. That looks pretty true to color on the screen. And so it's for Polar Pack. And I ordered this from the Kitten Stitcher. And so those are in. And then I also picked up a lot of the over-dyed flosses and probably accidentally some of the DMC replacements, because when I looked, I got this in and I looked at the two flosses and I was like, some of those colors look the same. Oh well, but you know, so these are a number of, I don't have them all in yet, but these are some of the flosses. And then I ordered the DMCs in for that, and they're really pretty. I'm really liking working with the over-dyed floss. I didn't think I would. I just kind of thought they were expensive and not really necessary, but I like the look they bring. Although I'm not buying over-dyed white floss for these, which may be counterintuitive given how much white there is in them. But I have so much white DMC on hand, I just couldn't justify it. It's like, Lisa, you know, use what you have. And then I don't quite have all the floss in for those because, and this is a little bit of a rant, I've kind of been looking for Picture This Plus Ancient, and I know nobody has Picture This Plus right now, hardly any, or at least there's not very many because they're just way behind on their orders. But I found a website, a little independently owned cross-stitch shop's like, yeah, we have it. I was like, okay, cool. So I put in the order. Sure enough, I get an email back and they're like, and I went ahead, since they had other things in stock, I put in an order for all the things I needed. And I was like, okay, cool, because it's all there. And they email me back and they're like, yeah, we don't have the fabric in stock. All right, fine, just cancel the fabric and send me the rest. I get another email back, yeah, okay, we'll do that as soon as the rest of it comes in. I'm Little Miss Instant Gratification. I have an excuse. I actually have an excuse now. I'll talk about that later. But it really makes me appreciate a website like Starlight Stitchery or 123 Stitch or Everything Cross Stitch, or, you know, some of the others where you go to order and if they don't have it, it's not on their website. And I understand that some of these are older shops and it's expensive to update your website, and, you know, maybe you just don't have what you need to do it. But it just, I get really, really frustrated with that. And honestly, I don't order things from my local shop online because the same kind of problem. It's not always on there, and besides, it's an excuse to go in, and we all need that, right? So, anyway, yeah, and I have on order, I went ahead, you know, because I've been looking for the Picture This Plus Ancient because I want to work my cave art on that. I bought some Mystic Fabrics material for that, and then I just decided it doesn't work and I don't want to use it for that, and so I have other things I want to use it for because it's just a good neutral. And then I did order at the local needlework shop. I found a Seraphim Fabrics, I think it's called Dirty Road, and it was really pretty, but it was 40 count, and I will not work on 40 count again. I worked on it I used it for my Grand Spawn stocking because I had to get the pattern I'd chosen into the size that would fit. I won't do it again. It was not fun. And I found out why, which was one of the things I've been dealing with the last couple of weeks, is that the smudges I've been trying to wipe off my glasses are actually cataracts. Yeah, I was not pleased to hear that. I'd known for a few years that there was a possibility, but I was not expecting it. And they're not bad enough that they'll do anything about it now because, you know, this is the United States. Preventative medical care, what's that? You know, your pre-existing condition is your medical history anywhere else. But and also I found out what they do for cataract surgery, and I'm just a little creeped out by it and a little concerned because sometimes I react weird to things, and I'm just kind of like, we can wait. And it doesn't technically interfere with my vision as long as I've got my LED light and my, you know, big magnifying glass that I can look through. I'm actually okay to stitch. So, and I have been ordering a lot of 32 counts fabric just in case. Anyway, so yeah, that was one of the things that came up in the last couple of weeks. Where was all this going? Okay, so fabric. I got all the fabric. I also ordered a few patterns because, you know, why not collect patterns? I picked up this one just because I really love these little tiny modernist patterns. I love the Portland one that I did, and I will do this one eventually as well. Again, they're cute, quick, easy stitches. I really liked it, so I bought that one. I have been eyeing this one for a while, so I finally just was like, yeah, go ahead. That's part of my budget for my cross-stitch budget for the month, which I probably overshot because I always do. But anyway, This is Dr. Christie, her red deer, and I just love this one. I think it's so pretty. It's based on medieval patterns from a medieval lace book, and I thought that was really, really cool. And I tend not to print out a lot of the stuff that comes with them, but there's a little bit of an explanation. Actually, I need to print out more because I didn't print out the chart that tells me what the symbols are for that one. Yaninova on Instagram put out some patterns, and this one, Katrina, I love it. And also, one of the Spawn's partners is Hispanic, Mexican American on their dad's side, and I'm like, I could make that for them. They do celebrate Day of the Dead, and I thought, well, that'd be a cool one to do. And it's the year of the bear, so I picked up the Madame Chantilly bear. He's very retro, very retro. I like him. I will look at what the colors actually are, because I have found that the picture colors for hers don't always really look the same in real life. And so we'll see what the colors are, and then I may change them a little bit, but I might do aqua instead of the olive. But anyway, so he's here. He's not as high on my list as the other bears. I have to pick either the Hyperboreal bear or the Abominable pack or Polar pack to work on next for my bears. And then I also, the pattern I'm waiting for that other order to ship is the Cottage Garden Samplings Year in the Woods Christmas Eve, because it's just such a cool Father Christmas figure. And then I also got this one, which is Cottage Garden the Fox. There we go. This camera is still funny to do. I really like these. They're cool. And I think I have the Raven one too. I think I picked it up, the Halloween one. So I picked up those patterns because why not collect patterns? Who cares? And then I also was stressed one night and was looking. I'm having trouble finding a couple of flosses for another pattern, and I was looking for them, and I just was like, I don't care anymore. I want these. Retail relief. So I bought this garnet. Garnet's my birthstone, so I just thought these are really fun. And I like these little Mill Hill kits for just little ornament things. And I got this one, Autumn Harvest. I have several more on my list to get, but I'm trying to tell myself I won't get them until I at least finish one of the ones I have, or more of the ones I have. And then I got this one because I really like him. He's very winter solstice-y, and I don't follow any particular pagan tradition. I'm kind of a lackadaisical pagan. I think that's probably the best term. I'm a lackadaisical pagan. Anyway, I like him though because he feels very wintry and he looks to me very winter solstice-y too, but not, so he'll be another good kind of like Christmas solstice-y decoration. I really liked him. So lots of winter decorations right now. I don't know why that's a thing. And then I don't know if I showed this last time. I also, and this kind of gets into life update, I have this Ink Circles Aspen Mandala. I think it's beautiful. It reminds me of my dad. I have all the colors except one, and that's one of the ones I can't get right now. I think it's a Gentle Art Sampler Dark Chocolate, which nobody has anywhere, it seems like. But anyway, I've been wanting to stitch this one at some point for my dad. And then honestly, I kind of had it in mind as a memorial. My dad's 80, I got the fabric. It's the Mystic Fabrics Winter Solstice. And it's kind of purpley. That looks pretty true. And so, but I got 36 count instead of 32 because I like 36 count. And I have that. And that's kind of been my plan. And then, kind of life update. So it was my birthday, not last week, the week before. It was a fun day. I mean, I treated myself, do some cross stitch stuff, like the kits and things. And then my friends, we have a little group, and they were picture bombing me, gift bombing me with stuff, one of my favorite actors, and we were all laughing about that because it was really funny. And then I got a message from my cousin. He said, hey, we need to talk. And I was just like, oh crap, because the only reason this cousin would be contacting me like that is if something happened to one of my parents. And sure enough, my mom had died on my birthday. And yeah, my cousin had to contact me and tell me because I didn't talk to my parents. I didn't talk to her. I do not regret it. I haven't talked to her in 5 years. And before that, it was 5 years. So, no, some people just, doesn't matter how much you love each other, you just don't have them in your life. And there are really good reasons why I don't really have anything to do with my family. But anyway, she had some heart health problems. It wasn't COVID, not directly, but she died, and so it's been kind of a rough couple of weeks, and it's going to be rough. It's been harder than I thought it would be. Actually, missed most of the week of work because I just couldn't deal. And stitching was a nice place to hide sometimes, and other times I couldn't. My brain couldn't focus. So memorial service was yesterday in their small city, in their small town, and I did not go. They live streamed it. It's going to be interesting going forward. My dad was like, well, maybe we can restart our relationship, and I'm kind of going, we'll see. I'd like to. There are some major philosophical differences that we must bridge, in part because they're very conservative. We are not. My youngest spawn just came out as non-binary. Their pronouns are they, them. I kind of sent up a test balloon on one of my phone calls with my dad this last week and was like, hey, this is a thing. And they were like, well, that's not a thing here. Yeah, well, it will be if you want to have us in your life. So there are going to be some interesting conversations coming up. But anyway, all of that to say, sorry, bearing my heart here, I quit. I was like, I have a thing picked out for my dad. I had nothing picked out for my mom. Now what? And then I realized every single space themed thing on my walls, and there's a lot, you don't see it here, but in my living room I have Star Trek prints. I have NASA's travel posters to the planets in the hallway. I have a ton of Star Trek stuff. We were watching The Expanse. I love science fiction, fantasy too, but I love science fiction. And my mom is the one who got me hooked on science fiction. She loved science. She wanted to be an astronaut. She was just I have so many good things in my life from her. And one of them is the love of science fiction. And so, I'm already kind of stitching a memorial to her, is the Galactic Galliard that I want to work on. I'm not going to put her name on it. That's too painful. But I just know that it's because of her influence in my life that I love these things. When I was a little girl, I would watch Gunsmoke with my dad, and then I would watch Star Trek reruns with my mom. I mean, that was, yeah. I would read Louis L'Amour so I could talk to my dad, and I would read Andre Norton and Heinlein and Arthur C. Clarke and all of that to talk to my mom. And that's kind of, and then they went off and joined a cult, and that got weird. Anyway, so yeah, it's gonna make stitching Galactic Galliard that much more important. And I love the Carl Sagan quote and everything. She's the one I watched Cosmos with when I was a kid. So I think that's gonna be pretty cool in the long run. Yeah. Let's see, other life updates. Cataracts. Oh, birthday. I have ADHD. I have never been bipolar. The psychiatrist was like, how the hell did you get diagnosed as bipolar? I don't know. They put me on Adderall. I fell asleep. It's going to be interesting. We'll see. I am getting back to my psychiatrist in another week with a report on how it's going. But you know what? My brain is quiet. I have no idea how to explain how different that is and how wonderful it is. After so many years, I am 58 and my brain is finally quiet. That was cool. Yeah, I think that's it. It's going to be, hopefully life will calm down and chill out. I don't know. The real world, there's so much going on, and I just don't even want to go there at this point. Yeah, I guess that's really all I have. I apologize for the distractedness and the and the whatnot. I probably won't edit this much. I have the editing software, but sometimes it's just more than I can deal with. And this may be one of those times. But thanks for being here with me. I love having people to share my cross stitch with. And I really appreciate those of you who do watch and comment. And you really make my day. And I watch and leave comments and at least, something to let you know I've watched. And hopefully I'll be back in a couple of weeks with another finish and maybe some other things. So, and maybe I still have to pick a bear. Am I going to do Hyperboreal bear? Am I going to do Polar Pack? Or am I going to do Abominable Bundle? What's my next bear project? I need to figure that out. And once I get, maybe I'll have that figured out. Or if you have an opinion, you can leave me a note in the comments. So, all right, take care. I hope you all stay healthy and happy, and life is being good to you. And stitch away. Bye.